It is quite hard to imagine a summer without a refrigerator, isn't it? We take for granted that wonderful ability to open a door and find a cold drink. A simple pleasure, yet so refreshing. But picture India, many hundreds of years ago. The sun blazes down with an intensity few of us experience. The great Mughal emperors ruled this vast land. They too, like us, longed for cool refreshment. How did they achieve this marvel? Long before electricity or modern machines, their solutions were truly remarkable, a testament to human ingenuity. The Indian subcontinent can be a place of fierce heat, especially during the long summer months. The air itself can seem to shimmer, the land bakes under the relentless sun. In such conditions, any form of coolness is a precious gift. For the Mughal emperors, who lived in unimaginable luxury, comfort was paramount. They sought relief from the oppressive heat, not just for survival, but for pleasure. The desire for a chilled drink, a sorbet, or even cool water was intense. This presented a significant challenge to their courts. The Mughal court was a place of immense opulence and grandeur. Emperors like Akbar, Jahangir, and Shah Jahan presided over vast empires. Their palaces were wonders of architecture, filled with art and riches. In this world of supreme luxury, even the smallest details mattered. A chilled beverage was more than just a drink. It was a symbol of power, of wealth. It demonstrated the emperor's ability to command resources, to overcome nature itself. It showed that even the scorching summer could be tamed, at least within the palace walls. So how did they accomplish this extraordinary feat? They did not possess the technology we rely on today, yet they found ways. Clever, resourceful ways to bring the coolness of winter into the heart of summer. They looked to the distant mountains, they observed the natural world around them, they developed ingenious techniques for making and storing ice. This is a story of human endeavor, of incredible effort, and of a deep understanding of the environment. Let us explore these fascinating methods, lost to time but not to history. One of the most astonishing methods the Mughals employed was the importation of ice, and not just from any nearby hill. They sourced it from the mighty Himalayas, the very rooftop of the world. Imagine the scale of such an undertaking. These colossal mountains, often perpetually capped with snow and ice, lay many hundreds of miles away from the imperial capitals like Delhi or Agra. It was a journey fraught with peril and immense difficulty. But for the emperors, no distance was too great, no effort too much for the luxury of ice. The journey of this Himalayan ice was an epic of logistics and human endurance. Think of the terrain: rugged mountain passes, treacherous slopes, and then the long, hot plains of northern India. This was no simple task of popping down to the local shop. It required immense organization. Teams of men and animals, horses, mules, and sometimes even swift runners working in relays were involved. They battled against time and the elements. The ice had to be moved quickly before it succumbed to the warmth. It was a race against the sun. Protecting the precious cargo was, of course, absolutely vital. The ice was carefully harvested in large blocks. Then it was wrapped in thick layers of insulating material. Coarse woolen blankets, straw, or jute sacking would have been used. This insulation was key to slowing down the melting process during its long transit. Each block of ice represented a considerable investment of labor and resources. To lose it would be a significant waste, so every precaution was taken to ensure it arrived as intact as possible at the royal palaces. This Himalayan ice was understandably an extreme luxury. The cost involved in its transportation was enormous. Only the emperor and the very highest echelons of the nobility could afford such an extravagance. It was a status symbol, a clear display of immense wealth and power. To serve a drink cooled with Himalayan ice was to offer something truly special. a taste of the distant frozen peaks in the midst of a sweltering summer. It spoke of an empire that could command even the elements, bringing winter's chill to the summer court. What an incredible feat of determination. Importing ice from the distant Himalayas was a grand gesture, but it was not the only way the Mughals obtained their cool treasure. They also developed remarkably clever techniques to make ice locally, even in regions where temperatures did not always plummet below freezing. This involved a keen observation of natural processes. They understood how to work with nature, to harness its subtle powers. It shows a different kind of ingenuity, one born from understanding the local environment. This method was perhaps less dramatic, but no less effective for its purpose. The primary local method relied on the cooling power of evaporation and the chill of the night air. During the cooler months, especially from December to February, special preparations were made. Large, shallow, unglazed earthenware dishes or pans were used. These porous clay vessels were filled with a small amount of boiled water. The water was boiled first to remove impurities and to help it freeze faster. These dishes were then carefully arranged in open fields, away from the shelter of trees, under the clear night sky. It was a patient, meticulous process. The science behind this is wonderfully simple, yet effective. As the night progressed, two things happened. Firstly, some of the water in the shallow dishes would evaporate. This process of evaporation draws heat away from the remaining water, cooling it down significantly. Secondly, on clear nights, the earth radiates its heat out into space. This makes the ground and the air just above it colder. If the conditions were right, a clear sky, low humidity, and a gentle breeze, the temperature of the water in the dishes could drop below freezing point. Come dawn, a thin layer of ice would have formed on the surface of the water in these pans. This was a delicate operation. Workers would carefully collect these fragile sheets of ice before the rising sun could melt their hard-won bounty. The ice harvested each night might have been small in quantity from each dish, but with many dishes laid out, a considerable amount could be gathered daily. This locally produced ice was then rushed to storage, ready to cool the drinks and desserts of the Mughal elite. It was a testament to patient daily effort. Whether the ice was painstakingly carried from the Himalayas or carefully cultivated in local fields, one crucial challenge remained: how to store it. How could this precious frozen commodity be preserved, sometimes for months, through the searing heat of an Indian summer? The answer lay in another marvel of Mughal engineering, the ice house, or yakchal, as it was known in Persian, a language influential in the Mughal court. These structures were far more than simple sheds. They were sophisticated feats of design. These yakchals were built with incredible care and understanding of insulation principles. Typically, they were large, conical or dome-shaped structures, often partially subterranean. Digging them into the earth helped to use the ground's natural coolness. The walls were incredibly thick, sometimes several feet thick. They were constructed from special insulating materials, a mixture of mud, clay, and often other substances like animal hair or straw, bound together with lime mortar. This created a formidable barrier against the external heat, a fortress for the cold. The design of the yakchal was key to its effectiveness. The conical shape helped to deflect direct sunlight. Many had a small single entrance, usually on the northern side, away from the sun, to minimize heat entry when opened. Inside, intricate systems of drainage would carry away any meltwater, preventing it from warming the remaining ice. The thick insulated walls, combined with the shaded, often underground location, created an environment where the temperature could be kept remarkably low, preserving the ice for extended periods, often right through the summer. Thinking about these methods today, in our age of instant electric refrigeration, is truly humbling. The Mughals, without any of our modern conveniences, achieved something extraordinary. They brought the luxury of coolness to the heart of a hot climate through sheer ingenuity, immense labor, and a profound understanding of their natural world. From the perilous journeys across mountains to the patient collection of night-formed ice and the clever construction of their ice houses, their efforts command our respect. It invites us to look at the past not just as a series of dates and events, but as a source of wonder at human achievement.